Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. So today's video is just going to be a little bit different. I'm just going to be talking about makeup brushes and applications of the makeup and cleaning bits and all that good stuff. So somebody asked me a question about my brushes. I think I'd posted a picture on my Instagram and you could see some of my brushes on top of my vanity. So I just decided that I was going to come on and just talk a little bit more about my makeup brushes and what I use for different things. So I think I read a quote not long ago where somebody said, a girl only needs 5 brushes in her life. Not this girl. This girl needs a few more than 5. So I'm going to talk about my favourite thing to use when applying my makeup. So everybody uses one, you see them in all the videos, and to be quite honest with you, this has kind of replaced my foundation brush. I still love my foundation brush, but my favourite thing to use is the Beauty Blender. Well, this isn't a Beauty Blender, this is the Real Techniques complexion sponge, and it is so nice. This one I've used it this morning, so it's a little bit damp because I've just cleaned it. This is what it looks like when obviously it's been wet. It's got the slanted edge on it, which I really like for blending out my foundation, which is really good. And then when I do my concealer, I'll turn it the other way around, pointy edge, and then I can get in there and do my concealer. So these are really cute. These ones, I think they're about £5.99 compared to the £16 for the actual original Beauty Blender. But I actually got mine when they were on sale, so I only paid £3.49 for these. So I do have 2 of them. I have one that I'm using now, and then I have a backup as well. And obviously you can see the difference in them. When they do get wet, it does go a lot more fluffier and big, and it's easy to work with, and they are so nice. I just love them. I use them for everything. If I would put on a foundation, I would tend to use a flat face brush. So I have a brand new one here, just because my stippling brush by So Eco lost the will to live, I think. Bristles were falling out of it and I had to throw it away, and it was a very sad day. So I had already purchased a new foundation brush ready for that. So this is one that I did get in the post, and this is by Sigma, and this is the flat top F80 Kabuki brush. So obviously everybody knows about this brush, everybody uses it. To be quite honest with you, I don't know if it was just me, but when I saw people using it, it looked a lot bigger. I like a brush that's going to cover a larger area of space in the short amount of time. I don't want to be sat there for ages blending out my foundation, but I've not used this yet, so I can't really comment on how well it is or how good it works. I do need to use it. It's very dense, which I do like that, so I don't feel like it's going to soak up all the product, and it's going to be quite easy to move product around on your face. So that is the Sigma F80 Kabuki brush. I really do like this. Another foundation brush that I've got that I've not used yet is one by Real Techniques, and this is the Your Base Flawless Expert Face Brush. And again, this is another brush that's quite small, so if I take it out of the packaging, I kind of feel like this again is going to take a while to move foundation around. So again, this is more of a rounded top one. Oh, it's a bit more fluffier. I don't know if I would necessarily use this for foundation. I kind of feel like this might be quite a good contour brush, just because it is on a slant as well, so it's quite long, and I feel like you could really get in there and blend out a contour. So I don't know if I'm going to use this for foundation, but that is quite a cute brush to use, so I do like that one. Other brushes, so I've got quite a few in here. My favourite brush is this one. It is such a nice brush. This is just from Wilko's, I think it is, and it was about £4. It is a big fluffy brush, so a nice bronzing brush. You can really get in there and just bronze up your face. And again, because it is such a big brush, it covers a large area in the short amount of time, which I really like the idea of that. So I really do like this one. It is my favourite. I just think it looks really nice, and I can't help but touch it because it's really soft. So I really like this brush. And I do tend to keep them inside the little pouch things that they come in, because I just do find that it keeps its shape, so I like to pop it back in there. Another brush that I would use for foundation is the stippling brush, and this is a brand new one. I've not used this one yet, should I say. And this is the Duo Fiber Duo Fiber? How do you pronounce that? Oh, it's good. It's fibre. So again, this is really nice for stippling on foundation. I've not used this one yet, but it's quite dense at the bottom and then it's very thin on the top, which is obviously going to give you that flawless effect. So when you're going ahead and you're popping your foundation on, as you can see, the white bristles at the top are obviously more feathery and a lot softer, so you could really move the foundation around on your face. That's going to give a really nice application. So that is another one. So moving away from my foundation brush, my next brush that I would tend to probably go for is a powder brush. I'm really funny when it comes to powder brushes, and the one that I have been using for the longest time has no name on it. I literally don't know who this is by, but it is just literally a nice fluffy brush, and I really like this one, especially if I'm going to set my face with powder. Then I can just dip my brush in my powder, tap off the excess, and then just go in and work it around my face. So again, I really like this one. It's a nice fluffy brush, it's really soft, so it's really nice to work with. And then other brushes that I do tend to use as well, I have this one, which I don't really know the name of it, but it's like a dome brush, like a dome kabuki brush, but it's very stiff, so it's a stiff brush. It's not necessarily one that you're going to be able to move foundation around on your face. It's going to leave strokes if you do try to do that. I, more often than not, will use this to set concealer, so under eye concealer. I will go in with some banana powder, tap it off, and then just dab it underneath. I do find that that works the best for me, and to be quite honest, that's the only thing I've used this brush for. Again, this is another non-name brush, so I don't know where that one's come from. I've had it for the longest time ever. And then I also have a couple of blush brushes. So I've got 3 of them here. So one of them is the So Eco, and then I've got a Real Technique, and then I've got a Wilko's one as well. So the Wilko's one, we'll start with that one first because I've not used it yet. This is another, these brushes are amazing. These brushes are literally under £5 each, which are really, really inexpensive, and it is so soft. Like, oh, it is unbelievable soft. So again, this is going to be really nice for applying your blusher. I really can't speak. So this is going to be a really nice brush to apply your blusher onto your face. So that is a really, really nice brush. But the one that I do love and I use all the time, I always go back to it, is my So Eco blush brush. Now I really, really do like this one. It's a really nice soft brush, but I find that it's still, even though it's soft, it's a little bit stiffer. So I find that when I'm applying the product onto my face, it's going where I need it to go. Not, for instance, like obviously this one is a softer brush, so I kind of feel like when I'm going to apply the product, it's not necessarily going to go where I want it to go. So you would still get a good application from this brush, but I just find that the So Eco brush is a lot easier to work with. So I can pop it into my blusher and then I can work it in the area that I need to work it in. So this is my favourite blush brush. I haven't found another one yet. Give me time, I'm sure I will. But for right now, this is definitely my favourite. Shortly after I got the So Eco brush, I got the Real Technique blush brush, and I was really excited to try this one out. I thought it would have replaced my So Eco one, and this is the domed Real Technique blush brush. Unfortunately, I didn't find that it was that good for my blusher. It's a lovely brush, I like it, and it's soft and it's still a little bit stiff as well, but I just find it doesn't move the product on my face where I need it to be. So I like this blush for blending. So if I've done obviously a bit of bronzing, contouring, blusher, and I want everything to blend so there's no harsh lines, I will go in with this brush and I will literally just sweep it through and blend out so there's no harsh lines. And I do find, obviously, because it's soft enough but it's still stiff enough, that it'll definitely do that for me. So I don't use it for blusher, but definitely use it for blending out. And I keep touching all my brushes and I can't help it. I've just spot cleaned them, so I can't help but touch them. Then another brush, which I think everybody has, is a foundation brush. I personally don't like these to apply foundation. I do find that this kind of brush can leave marks on your face, so you can see like stroke marks of where you've applied it. It's a nice brush because it is so stiff. it's dense, so it means that you can get in there and apply it. I just find that you would still need to go in with something else as well to blend that out. So typically I would go in and apply my bronzer onto my areas that I want to contour with this brush, and then I would go in with my Real Technique complexion sponge and I would blend that out so it didn't look so harsh. So that's what I would do. Another brush that I've got in this little pot here is another Real Techniques brush, and this is their little setting brush, which obviously I had been using the domed brush to set under eye concealer, and I really wanted something that was a little bit smaller and a little bit easier to work with to get right up in there and blend out any powder for when I've set my concealer. I do like this one. This is a really cute brush. It's so small that it's really easy to work with. I can get right underneath there, I can tap out, and then obviously if I was going to bake underneath my eyes as well, I could go in, put my powder on, to leave it on to bake, and then go in and wipe it away with this. It's small enough to get right in there. So this is one of them brushes that it does exactly what it says on the packaging. And then my next brush in here is just a high maintenance fan brush. So typically I love this brush. I think this brush is amazing. The first time I ever saw a fan brush, I kind of thought, what on earth do you do with that? Highlight. I am a huge fan of highlight, and this is what I use to apply my highlighter with. I love this brush. It is amazing. So it's very soft, it's nice and easy, it's pliable. You can go into your highlighter and then you can really get the tops of the cheeks and then blend it either down a little bit or maybe up a little bit, and then go in over your Cupid's bow. I like to get a little bit of product on it and then just gently brush it over my top lip, and it really highlights this area. So I really do like this brush. A new brush that I've just got, and I was so excited to get this. Again, this is another Sigma brush, and this is the Tapered Highlighting F35 brush, and it is a really nice small tapered highlighting brush. It's so soft, so you can really get in there and you can highlight away, and obviously you could do your Cupid's bow with that as well. So I'm really excited to give this a try, but my fan brush is my favourite, so I've not got round to using this one. Okay, so my camera just died, so clearly I just talked too long about face brushes, so we're going to zoom through these eyeshadow brushes, otherwise this video is going to be at least an hour long. So typically whenever I'm doing an eyeshadow look, I always like a brush that's going to pack on colour, a brush that's going to blend it out, and then if I'm going to do any precision work, I need a brush that's a little bit small. So these brushes are the Mylene Class brushes, and I really like these three, just simply because obviously the dome brush I can get really in there and do detailed work if I need to, and then these two I find are really good at blending out colour. So the smaller one I can use to apply colour into my crease, and then the bigger one I can use to blend the colour out. If I'm going to apply colour all over my lid, this is just an ordinary brush, there's no name to it. This is just a small little eyeshadow brush, so then I will just go in and pack colour onto my lid using this brush. Again, I have a couple of more domed brushes. So these ones are really nice, I like these brushes. The purple one, I actually use this to apply my inner corner highlights and underneath my brow bone as well, which I find is the best thing for this brush. And then this one, because it's a more dense dome brush, I can actually pack in colour onto the outer V of my eye and then blend it in, so it's really nice. And then obviously a makeup brush wouldn't be complete without a couple of angled brushes. So I have two of them here. One of them is the So Eco and the other one is just an unnamed one. The So Eco one, I really like this one for my eyeliner and then also for my eyebrows as well. So if I need to fill in my brows, I will use this with a powder. And then obviously if I want to get a really nice neat line with my eyeliner, this brush works really well for me. The smaller brush, I tend to use this one to clean up around my eyebrow area. So if I've gone a little bit too over happy with my powder or anything, or I might have come a bit too far down, I can dip this brush into my concealer and really clean up underneath my eyebrow and above and just sculpt out my eyebrow. So that is the best brush for me. And then obviously I just have a typical mascara wand brush which I use to comb through my eyebrows. And then I also have a fine liner brush. So some new brushes that I just recently picked up is the Real Techniques Starter Set for Your Eyes, which is a really good set. This brush set contains 5 different brushes, so it has a smaller base shadow brush, a deluxe crease brush, and then it's got a really tiny brush in there as well, which again would be really good for inner corner highlights. It's got a fine liner brush, and then it's got a slanted eyebrow brush really. So that's going to be a really nice set to use. And then I also did get some Sigma brushes and 2 MAC brushes. Now, what's really funny is I got the MAC 224 and 239, and then I got the Sigma Blending F25 and Tapered Blending E40. These brushes are so similar, it is really funny, especially the 2 blending ones. So I'll show you the MAC ones first. So the MAC 239 is a really nice short brush, which is going to be really nice to apply colour onto the lid. You can really pack it in because this brush is so dense, so it's going to be a good brush to get in there. And then to blend out, I got the MAC 224 brush. So this again, because it's a nice tall blending brush, you can really get into there and really blend out your colour, which I'm so excited for. And then from Sigma, I got the Tapered Blending F40. So same method, it's going to be really good for blending out. These two, so the MAC 224 and the Sigma E40 are so similar. But I suppose you can never have too many brushes. And then the last brush that I got is the Blending E25. So this is a little similar to the MAC brush, but it's a bit fluffier and a bit taller as well. So again, you could use this for packing, but definitely for blending at the same time. So these are really good brushes. I'm excited to use them. They are brand new, I've not tried them yet, so I can't wait. You never know, once I start using these ones, I probably won't use my other ones. So now I'm just going to move on to cleaning my brushes and the method that I use. So typically my face brushes and my eye brushes are used for me alone, so I don't use them on anybody else, very rarely anyway. Maybe I might use them on my sister or my mum, but I would always go in and spot clean them. Typically I would take my brushes to the sink at least once a week. Now for me personally, I actually find that the best thing to use to clean my brushes is shampoo and conditioner. Now I know a lot of people use different things and disinfectant and all that good stuff, but I just find I use the Garnier Ultimate Blend shampoo, and this is the Nourishing Repair shampoo and conditioner. Then when it comes to obviously your complexion sponge, the best thing that I have found is the beauty cleanser. So this is the Solid Beauty Cleanser, and again you can use this for brushes as well. You could go ahead and wet your brush and then you could just swirl it around inside the Solid and then just rinse it off. So it's a really nice cleaning solution, and I find that this is the best thing to use to clean up my beauty blender. Sometimes you can find that your foundation will stain your beauty blender, and before I bought the cleanser I was actually using a face cleanser, so I think it was like my 3-in-1 face cleanser to clean my beauty blender, but it would never get rid of the stains from the foundation on it, and I kind of felt like my beauty blender was dirty and I didn't like it. So then when I got this, and the first time I used it, and it's amazing, I literally will wet my beauty blender, I will take the Solid, I rub the beauty blender around in it, and then whilst I've got it in my hand, I will scrunch it down a few times so it foams up, and then rinse it underneath the tap, and it's amazing. You just literally see all the foundation and concealer just come away from it, and you are left with a nice clean beauty blender ready to be used. So typically if I was going to use my brushes on somebody else, or I've done somebody's makeup the night before, I just quickly want to rinse them through so I can use them. So any kind of cleanser I find for a spot treatment is the best. So I actually have the MAC brush cleanser, and it is a really good cleanser. I need to get a new one, I'm running out, I've hardly got anything left in there. So typically what I would do is I would get some kitchen roll, I would put a bit of this into it, and then I would just take my brush and just swirl my brush around in it, and it is amazing how quickly, considering this brush I actually did this this morning with the MAC cleanser. This brush was pink because obviously I'd been blending out blusher and bronzer, so this brush was very dirty, and obviously for the sake of coming on camera, because I'm not going to deep clean them until the weekend, I wanted to just make them look a little bit better. So a little bit of this on some tissue paper, and then I just swirled the brush in it and swirled it onto a clean piece and just left it to dry, and obviously this is what it looks like. So obviously it's not a full-time thing that you can clean your brushes with this, but I do find, especially if you're in a hurry or you just quickly want to clean a brush, especially if you've done eyeshadow and you might have used a dark shadow but then you were going to go in with a light shadow, it's really easy just to swirl this brush around in this solution, just leave it for a couple of minutes to dry, and then you can go ahead and apply anything else over the top or whatever you're going to do with it. So I'm going to leave it at that for this video. I have talked so much, I'm quite surprised that my camera hasn't died again. If you're still with me till the end, well done. You guys leave me comments down below, let me know what you do with your brushes. I mean, obviously this might look like it's a lot of brushes. To me it's not. I kind of feel like I want more. I just love trying out new brushes, so I'm really excited that I'm branching out and I'm trying all these different kinds of brushes. But let me know what you guys think. If you have a particular brush that is your all-time favourite, or even a brush that you think that I might like and I should try, leave me a comment and let me know, and I will definitely give it a try. And then obviously anything that you use for cleaning, if the shampoo and conditioner aren't for you and you use something else, then let me know. You never know, you could tempt me away from me Garnier. So until my next video, I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe if you already haven't. Bye guys.